We're live. I hope everybody likes the new backdrop. I kind of like it. Shows everybody what we got.
I
Mark,
like it too. Hey, what's going on, Lyle?
not much. This is the very first one of the Panfish weekly shows. We hope to make a staple in the business. We've been doing some other stuff for many, many years, and I think that the panfish industry has been left behind, and we're going to try to bring it up to view.
I agree. There's so many different things you get to do. And get your family involved. Anybody can do it, no matter where you live. You can catch them in a ditch if they're there. So I think we're going to appeal to a much larger audience. Maybe bring them into the catfish world because we all got to start somewhere, right?
That's exactly right. Let's start off by running through some of the people that's in chat. What do you say?
I like that idea. I know they like it when we do that for them.
I'll run off a few and then you run off a few. How's that?
Sounds perfect.
Betty, a couple crosses fishing. Chrissy Brown. Kelly Bullock, fishing Texoma Land. JP3 and Muskrat Adventures.
I see Ace Catfishing. I see Norm from Catfish Hen Hunters. What's up, Catfish Regulators? Chrissy Brown. Chrissy Brown and Betty were the first ones in. I see Miss Cindy Stokes. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Country Boy Catfishing and the Man Creole Catfishing. He's in there, too.
Yep. There was one that I just seen that I hadn't seen before, but it's going kind of quick now.
I see Eric Johnson. Is that the name? I see Eric Johnson in there. Dexter Tang is in here.
Well, great. Good to have Dexter in here. There's Jim, Kentucky Man Outdoor Adventures. Fishing with Big Mike.
Fishing with Robbie. Welcome. Fishing with Squirrel, as always. What's going on, buddy? Mr. Chavez is in the house.
I'm sure that's tasting, smelling like good because he always fixes some great food.
He does. Getting hooked on D fishing with JBT, Greenwall Fishing, and James Dockery's in here.
My man James, Daniel Ishmael, Joe Buck 66, Kentucky Headhunters. Hey Norm, Mike Greenwell, Fishing with Robbie. Maurice Casey. Of course, we knew Maurice Casey would be in here.
Of course, Maurice.
Parker Pursuits, Tim Molina, Eric Jackson, Skip Stewart, 1 Ton Fishing Club, a couple crosses fishing. I think we mentioned Betty, and I'm sure Brandon is in here. Turner Fishing, Mark Clark, Creole, Mexican Fishing.
Can't forget about Janice DeMint and Jason Blackburn, also known as J-Dog, Jason Lamb.
Catfishing.
Justin's Fishing Fetish, Kevin Baker. Wow, we got 67 in chat for the very first one. It's hard to get through all these people. Let's keep going.
Mad Chatter Catfishing. You know, we got a lot of catfishing guys in here, and we're talking about panfish, but you know, you can consider some of the catfish that we catch panfish too. In my opinion, for what it's worth, and it's only worth anything to me, if it fit in a pan, it's panfish. Now, what we're going to concentrate on is bluegill and crappie and perch and all that kind of stuff. But we might talk about some little channel cats that we get in the mean way and what we use for bait and different things like that along the way. There's no telling where this is going to go, Mark.
Absolutely. I think it's going to go everywhere, including up. We're going to be all over the place.
That's what we're hoping for. It's we're looking for a big time and a lot of fun from a lot of people. And Betty, if you would message me about the arrangement that you had talked to me about, pardon me, before the show, if that's still a go, let me know before I say something. Because if that's the case, we're going to have we'll have some fun before the night is over. And you know what, Mark, we had some decals made before we started talking about that for
Can't wait to see
Weekly. And they're Panfish Weekly decals, and we're going to give a few of them away a little later on in the show.
Fantastic. I see Epic Catfish. I see Sunfish Assassin. Trophy.
Theodore Arco.
Al's a good guy.
Right. David.
Yep. He also goes by the name Al. He knows who you're talking about, Miss Al. Trophy Trash Fishing is a new one. Turner Fishing, I believe, is a new one. Zach H. We got a lot of people stacking up here. 75 people. I think Betty's going to have to make good on that if she still chooses to.
For all you people that's going to enjoy our show and like the show, please like us on Facebook. Hit the like button down there and subscribe. It helps us a great deal. And do that on the Panfish Weekly thing. We want to tell everybody that we run into an issue with the Panfish Weekly YouTube channel. I went to set the show up tonight, and we didn't have it set up on there. I should have done it before tonight, and they wouldn't let me do it. Made me wait 24 to 48 hours. So that's where it'll be next week. But for this week, we had to use the Catfish Weekly stuff, but that's okay. This our first show, and we're learning, and we'll get it straightened out for next time. Mike Costello Outdoors, Lynn Leeper.
Brian, I see a Brian Mears out there. There's a name that I'm not familiar with.
I've seen him before in some of the stuff, but there's Palmetto Cats Country Boy, 2 stands. We got a bunch of folks in here.
Was another one
for the first show. Mark, that's a big number, I think.
I think so too. I'm impressed. You guys did us proud, especially for us moving it the last minute. People really found us quickly, which is cool.
It is cool. That is cool. All right. We have a really exciting guest come in here tonight, Mark.
I can't wait.
Kyle is with the Wisconsin Fisherman. He's been doing YouTube videos for 4+ years. I've watched him for some time. My gosh, he's got some of the greatest YouTube videos that are out there. And I know right now he's doing what you love to do, and that's ice fish. So what do you say we get on in here?
Let's bring him in.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Going great, man. And we're excited to have you on the show with us tonight. Mark's a big ice fisherman, and I know in my mind that you're setting the world on fire on the ice right now.
Yeah, right on. Thanks for having me. So, this year we've been really hammering it out. I think last year at this time I only had, last year I did a total about 13 videos, and that was all the way up to late ice, and right now I'm at like 13. So we're really pounding out the videos. I got one probably posting tonight too.
I saw you took a young gentleman from actually near me ice fishing for the very first time in one of your recent videos. That was pretty cool to see.
Yep.
Where he got like the biggest bass of his life, didn't he?
Yeah, he said that was the biggest one he ever caught. It was pretty unexpected. I thought we might catch one, but that one was tickling 5 pounds, and that's pretty big for up north.
That's a big one for up north, absolutely. So how often you get out on the ice? Apparently you're getting out more this year than you did last year.
Yeah, definitely. So I get Wednesdays off. I kind of have a weird schedule. I get Wednesdays, have a half a day Saturday, and work Sunday. And really anytime I can get out on the ice, whether it's Tuesday night into Wednesday all the way through, a little bit on Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday, and then during the week, like tonight, Thursday, I'm editing videos. Friday, I'm editing, and getting those videos out there. And it's a lot of work. It's time consuming, but it's so much fun.
I agree. I like to get out on the ice. You have an ATV though too, don't you?
Yep, I got a 4-wheeler, and I do have a couple other snowmobiles too.
Snowmobiles, yeah. We don't get enough ice down here. I'm just northwest of Chicago, right outside of the suburbs. Okay. We get ice, but not enough to justify. Well, I had 3 ATVs, but not enough to justify keeping them for so long.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of hiking my butt out there on the ice with 200 pounds of gear. You know what that's like. I'm sure you've done that at some point, right?
Oh yeah, you got to start by hauling the gear out. I mean, as I was a little kid, I always thought like, how could we make things lighter? And I thought of a plastic auger long before it came about. And but like you say, you do haul a lot of gear out there, and having a 4-wheeler is nice.
Yeah, I was looking at one of those new Strike King augers, the 14. Yeah. What is it? The 24 volt. Been
24
looking
volt.
At one of them. It's either one of them or getting one of those AquaView cameras like you have. I got to make that decision, or live scope this summer, but that's another story.
Yeah. So cool thing about live scope, actually, I don't know if anybody knows it yet. It wasn't supposed to be released till February, but there was a leak of it. Humminbird is making it's called Mega Live, and it's the live system
Mhm.
that got leaked. It got leaked, so I mean it's public knowledge now, but not a lot of people know about it, and it's pretty sweet.
Are you familiar with SK Crappie's channel? He's a gentleman out of Texas. He slaughters crappie like you wouldn't believe. The guy's a master at what he does. But yeah, he can. I had a live stream closer to Christmas where we were talking about some ice fishing stuff, trying to introduce some of. There's a lot of people from south of here in the chat. So what's up to what's up to all the people down south? Sorry, we're talking about ice fishing, but that he actually brought that up too. He was kind of getting me all worked up about that. I'm definitely looking to get some in my next boat, some sort of option, whether it's the Humminbird or keep with Garmin right now. But either way, they're getting pretty crazy as far as that goes. But anyways, we're going off on a rant. What do you, when you're looking for, let's say you're looking for panfish, sunfish, or whatever it is? I know you do a lot of pike fishing. Obviously, do you consider bass one of your target species, or is that bycatch?
Yeah, so in the wintertime, the bass up here, they really slow down. They get really lethargic. And if you catch them, you do. But you're not going to go out and try to target bass.
Okay.
Unless you know you're in a really good lake that has piles full of bass. But otherwise, no.
All right. So what kind of conditions are you looking for, whether it's in the winter or in the summer when you're targeting panfish?
Basically, anytime you want to find either the weeds that are starting to die or like really green weeds. Any structure that they're on, rock, weed, the crappies will be out over big basins, but bluegill and stuff like that, you're gonna find them by any structure.
Are you finding, for the first time this year, I'm noticing that even bluegills are starting to roam. You know how crappie roam those basins? Mm-hmm. They're roaming like I'm starting to find out fishing bigger bodies of water that they'll roam like the weed edge lines, and when they die, they're obviously those weeds are gassing off. They're going to be looking for oxygen, so that's pretty much what I'm looking for. How we do? How's that different from like summer pan fishing?
Oh man, that's the thing is you talk about like ice fishing, summer fishing, spring fishing, and we're talking bluegills and crappies. It's like all the time they're like you were talking. You catch them in anything, and like anytime they're there, they're gonna be there. They're gonna eat. It's really not a time that's harder to catch them than another time.
That's what makes them great. You do target any perch ever?
Yeah, so actually, one of the next video that's coming out, you ever heard of the slab grabber? It's an ice fishing lure with a little red bead on it, and they literally hammer the perch. And we did a video just yesterday where we were hammering perch, so that was pretty fun.
I'll have to look one of them up. I just ordered a bunch of dinner bells for little late, better, well, I got other ones like the Linder stuff and that, but I finally pulled the trigger and pulled a couple of them. I got so much ice fishing stuff for the amount of time that I can afford to get out there. It's kind of a lot. We're still trying to get Lyle on the ice, but Lyle really does love pan fishing. Look at him now. No ice fishing for you, Lyle?
Does Sheila know how much ice fishing equipment you got?
No, that's why I keep in storage. Be quiet. She's upstairs. Sheila's my wife.
Now Kyle's wife knows how much he's got because she goes with him all the time.
Yeah, she helps me pull it out.
Yeah, lucky man.
You know what? I don't have that problem really. Cindy loves to fish, and she goes with me all the time. So if we need fishing equipment, unless it's ridiculous, she really doesn't say too much. I got to tell you, there's nothing I enjoy any more than watching your videos when you have that underwater camera going and you're jigging that jig up and down, and then zoom, you watch it shoot up to the top of the water. In Missouri, where I live, you can't do that. The water's not clear enough, but that makes for some of the most amazing footage I have ever seen in my life.
I totally agree. My favorite part is when you like hook into a little sunfish or something and he just goes poof, disappears off the screen, and his little buddies are kind of staring at it going like, hey, what the heck happened? Me and one of the guys in chat here is a good friend of ours, James Dockery. He's the one who kind of brought that up, and we kind of get a kick out of watching your videos and talking about that stuff. But regardless, what other tactics you use, or where would you, let's say, it's hard to say where would you start. We have a lot of catfishermen out here, and that catfishermen guys, they love using panfish for bait.
Oh yeah.
When there's a need to fish for him, you get we got Eric Massey Jig Company in the house. There's a guy who knows how to do that. All right, real quick,
copy, buddy.
He knows what he's doing. Do you prefer live bait, artificials? If artificials, plastics, flies, little flies.
Yeah. So basically, on the bait side of things, I like to use. So as far as like bait, when I was a kid, I started out using like wax worms. I mean, anybody put a wax worm on a hook, you're gonna catch a bluegill. And with that, there's a lot of like you have to rebait every fish because the wax worm just gets torn apart. And then later down the road, I figured out they have these other things called spikes, and they're like it's actually like a hard wax worm. And they just stay on the hook so much better. And I usually put 3 or 4 of them on the hook, and they just kind of poof out, and then it's game over, and you catch like 10 fish on 4 of them.
On one of them? Yeah.
Yeah, and with the technology, I mean, I just did a video with beaver tail baits, and not technology, but like stuff that's coming about in the fishing industry is just nuts. And you would never thought like, oh, let's get a piece of beaver tail, dye it a color, put some scent in it, and fish with it. And it works, it's nuts. And then
I saw that in your video, and that's something that really piqued my interest. Maybe we'll get around to that, but I might be aging myself here. I don't know if you've seen like pictures of this stuff, but that reminded me right away of what was it, Lyle, that the bass guys used to use? Uncle Josh's pork rinds or pork
rinds? They look like frog legs behind your jigs and stuff.
Yeah, like a paddle tail.
Yeah, that reminded me of that. I'm like, why not? Somebody thought of the idea. My question is, where do they get all these beaver tails?
Well, there's a lot of guys that be trapping up here.
Yeah, there's a fur industry there, and if you're getting a cowboy hat, if you're getting a real cowboy hat, it's made out of beaver hair. I don't know if people know that. So
a real one.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
What's
good ones are.
Lyle's a rod maker. What do you look for in a panfish rod?
So in panfish rod, I always want something that has a super soft tip on it. You see a lot of guys will have like a spring bobber even further out, and you can really see that fish hit. In something over the years, once you get the upper view, it doesn't matter what you have for a rod. Because you're not paying attention to your rod, you're watching it. So any rod that's going to have a good bend, and you reel up. But
that's like for the winter time, right? But what about in the summer? What are you looking for?
Ooh, in the summertime, you got this. So I like a medium fast rod, something with a quick tip on it that I can move around. Super light blue jig. Whip them out there, either slip bobbers or just plain jigs. 16th ounce and 8 ounce.
Okay. Yeah, I like using a lighter pound mono when I'm chasing, whether it's panfish for bait or a crappie for the plate. So, Sunfish Assassin, thank you very much for the donation. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. We want to welcome Chunky Catfishing into the stream. Thanks for joining us, Elstan. Thanks for wishing us good luck on our show. Jason Lamb, Jason DeRochi, Country Boy Catfishing, Alan Pearshaw, I believe is how that's saying. The Has Life, Mike Irwin, Mike Chavez, Janice DeMint, Creole Catfishing. Thank you guys all for joining the show tonight.
You got a little feedback there. Is that on me or you, Lyle?
Neither, I don't believe.
Okay, I think we're good now.
Joe 56, Catfish or Sunfish Assassin. Thank you so much.
So what do you got coming up as far as your videos go? Just doing a lot more ice fishing? Are you going to chase anything else? Do you travel? What's going on with your channel?
Yeah, so basically what I got coming up, I usually, what do they say, fly by the edge of your seat or whatnot. Like I said, I go fishing and that's it. I mean, let's see, what's today? Today is Thursday, Saturday. I got to pull my snowmobile out of the lake. That's coming. So that'll be a video.
We got to talk about that.
Yep, we'll get there. But, from there, after that, it's just getting on another lake. And, I want to do a crappie video where I'm out there, where I spend the night and I catch some big crappies through the ice. That should be a good one. And then,
Chunky.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you,
Kyle,
Chucky.
I'd like to visit with you for just a minute on a safety factor because
Definitely.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but Benj, you did. Evidently, you don't mind talking about it. You had a little accident here
Yeah.
a few weeks ago. Would you mind going through that and giving us some safety information so people can prevent that kind of thing from happening to themselves?
Yeah, definitely. So, basically, the main thing about it is we went to a big lake, and the past month we were on little lakes. You're talking a little lake up here is anywhere from about 400 acres and smaller, and people were driving on lakes that were 400 acres. So we went to another lake, and it was 6,000 acres. So there were shacks out there, and we're like, okay, we're gonna bomb across the lake, get to where we want to be at, and it didn't go as planned. The ice wasn't thick enough where we thought it was gonna be just thick, just like all the other lakes. And as far as safety goes, you always want to check the ice. It's something I've done the whole winter up until that point. We were checking the ice, and we figured that the lakes were good, and they weren't. But and then we can go into detail if you guys want. I mean, we're going across the lake. We got to the spot. I got off the snowmobile, and my buddy was sitting on the sled, and he's looking at his map on the phone, and we were like right on. We wanted to be on a hump, and it was like 40 feet over here, actually 70 feet. And we got up on top of the hump, and we're like, oh, perfect. We're right where we want to be, but let's go up to about 10 feet and find this weed line. And I got back on the snowmobile, and I start going and going, and we got up to about 30 miles an hour. And then I started slowing down because I'm like, okay, we're getting to where we want to be at. And I heard it crack, 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 and it sounded like slushy. Like if you ever been on ice where you have a good layer, then you have water, and then you have another.
You got that crunchy layer on top. Yeah.
So when that crust breaks, it just goes down 4 inches, and you're on hard ice. Well, it sounded like that, and all of a sudden it was just water. And we went down and we jumped off, and I had my spikes on my neck, and those are like, it's a rope. It has a little spike in it. When you stab it into the ice, it just helps you get out. And I was using those to crawl out of the ice, and it was spooky.
Did you guys have to walk out of there?
Yeah. So what happened next after that was we looked at each other and we're like, we don't know what this ice is like. We don't know what we're even laying on, if it's an inch or less. And so basically from there, we're like, we got to call 911. We got to get rescued because we don't know what to do. We're,
Good move.
So yeah, we called 911, and like 15 minutes later, there was an airboat coming across the lake with like a fan on it, and it came across, and all of a sudden it like hit, like almost like it hit water. There was waves behind it, and the ice was cracking, like it was making a wake. There was ice on the wake, and we looked at each other, and I'm like, dude, if that boat comes up to us, we're in the water, because it is, yeah. So basically what happened then is they were about 100 yards away from us, and the guy got out, and he walked all the way to us. It's like, okay, if he walked to us, we can walk back to the airboat. And in the meantime, the snowmobile was underwater, and the sled with our gear in it was halfway out. So we took the cover off of that and got a lot of gear out, luckily, and made it back into the airboat. Took us to shore.
How deep of water were you in when it went through?
So we were in about 16 to 15 feet of water.
Okay, that's deep.
Yeah, so there's no bottom. I mean, it's not like you're standing.
How was your sled attached to the snowmobile?
With a hitch.
It was a hitch. So your snowmobile was hanging off the back of your sled in that water? Or was it
the other way around? The sled was out and the snowmobile was under.
Under, okay.
Yep.
Well, nobody got hurt.
Amen.
You all got out of there. You lost a lot of equipment and a lot of stuff that's
it's all replaceable.
Yeah, it's all replaceable, and nobody is the worse for the wear except for a little butt hurt over that. We can all live with that. I mean, it's an eye opener. But if you had one tip that would be a safety thing that you would tell all of our viewers tonight, what would that be?
Boy, I mean, there's at least two safety tips. Let's
hear them both.
So the one thing is always have your spikes around your neck when you're traveling on the ice, whether you're on your four-wheeler or you're walking. that's something I've made a habit. In the start of every video now, I have my ice picks on my neck because I just got on the lake and I didn't know what it was like, regardless. The other thing I would put as a tip is like just a spud bar that, you know, as you're checking the ice, just 1 or 2 hits. And I mean, even if you get off your four-wheeler and you know you have good ice, say you're taking your four-wheeler out, get off your four-wheeler, walk 30 yards, pound, you got good ice, drive up to that. Next thing, and just check it as you go. I wish I would have done that. I never thought of doing it like that. That's how you should do it.
Yeah, that's great advice. I would like for just a second here to welcome Lisa Haraway into our show. She ain't going to go ice fishing. She's a way down south kind of lady. So, way down in Alabama where she lives, they don't have any ice fishing. But we're glad she joined the show. And there's Jigging with Jake, bless his heart, Mike Sampson. Glad to have you all in the show tonight. But yeah, I seen that video that you made about that, and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's they're lucky to be alive, and I believe that. But you've done a wonderful video of that, and something we probably need to do right now, Kyle, is for you to tell everybody where they can go to find all your stuff on Facebook and YouTube. That way they can find these videos, because that one is one I think that anybody that ice fishes probably should watch.
And don't forget your Instagram, because that's tonight.
So basically, I was going to touch one more thing on that.
Sure.
Well, yeah, Wisconsin Fisherman on YouTube. I've been doing it since 2010-ish, so almost 11 years. My first videos were just on an actual iPod that had a camera on it, and then I could finally upload it to YouTube.
And how old were you when you were doing that?
What's that?
How old were you when you were doing that, if you don't mind me asking?
I was about 18 years old. And even before then, I was running a camcorder with tape in it. So I have camcorder tape footage of me 10, 12, 13 years old doing, fishing and hunting. Like, I loved it.
Hold on to that. That stuff will be worth a lot to you, if not anybody else.
Gold.
Yep. So yeah, like I said, Wisconsin Fisherman on YouTube, Wisconsin Fisherman on Facebook, Wisconsin_Fisherman on Instagram. So basically, Wisconsin Fisherman, and you should be able to find me.
Find him.
Kyle Tyree right there. But yeah, I love doing it. It's so much fun. I think I have about 300 videos.
I noticed that you got a lot of followers and you're doing a heck of a lot of views, which is cool. You got in early enough to take advantage of all of that. So what's your, like right now, you said you're putting out a lot more videos, but I noticed sometimes you're on and off. Life gets in the way, I imagine, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The only reason why I bring that up is because there's so many other newer creators here that are always trying to overextend themselves and they get burnt out. What would be your advice to them when that starts happening?
Yeah, so basically that actually, I would almost say like that happened to me. You can almost see it in my videos. I went down to like one video every 2 months or so, and it was just like, gosh, I gotta get back doing it. And the biggest thing about doing it is just to actually do it. Don't talk about doing it, just do it. If you're gonna go out and make a video and you want to do a bluegill video or any video, just go out and do it. If you want to make a video of a homesteading, you got chickens, whatever, just go do it. Don't talk about it.
I absolutely agree. I actually have a young gentleman across the street from me. He's 11 years old. He just started his very own YouTube channel. So he reviews old like 45 records from back in like the 70s and 60s and stuff and plays them for people. It's very odd, but Chase, he's out there. He's watching. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Make sure I shout out to Chase. So if I had his link, I would share it. Maybe in my show tomorrow night. We got your links. You guys know where to get them. We'll go over them again before the show's over, obviously, because we want everybody to subscribe to all your different social medias and your YouTube channel. I know, being where I'm in Northern Illinois, but I'm kind of familiar with the laws as far as removing vehicles that go under. What's that like in Wisconsin, if you want to explain that to the people? I think he froze, Lyle. Hopefully he'll come back.
I still, well, wait a minute.
That's okay. Kyle, if you can still hear me, just come back in. If it doesn't, break open. Let's see if we missed anybody in chat. We got 80 people in chat. Lyle, what do you think of that, bud?
That is awesome, Kyle. What you'll have to do probably is sign out and sign back in.
Just click on that link once again if you see us.
Yep.
We did say hello to Jigging with Jake. What's going on, Jake? Joe Buck 66, Kelly Bullock, Lisa Harway. You did mention her, I believe. I want to make sure I didn't miss her. Mr. T-Bone 39. What's going on?
Sunfish Assassin. Is there a cooler name than that?
That's a perfect name. And thank him again. I thank you again for the super chat. That was awesome. Palmetto Cats is here. What's going on, Kevin? We said hello to Parker.
I got something to show people.
Let's see what you got, Lyle.
Remember, any of you that's ever followed Catfish Weekly for any period of time has heard the James Dockery talk about Krampus canes. Now, we never ask him to do that. He just does that because he's James Dockery.
No, he does that to piss you off.
Yes, he does. This right here is the beginning of a Krampus cane, just so you know. So
keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, stay tuned for more of that. And there's Kyle's back.
Kyle is back.
All right, sorry about that, guys. The phone went into low power mode.
That's okay, man. We're used to it. We're at a high-dollar production here. We provide good content. Might not always go smoothly, but we try to keep people entertained.
That's right.
Lyle was just.
Lyle Milhorn just made it in the show.
Dieter, what's going on, buddy? Dieter Milhorn. Lyle was just showing. There's this inside joke going on between everybody calls Lyle Santa Claus, and it really gets him mad. He does not like being called Santa because that makes him like 187 years old. All right.
I think it's the other way around.
Hey, I don't know. I just turned gray like in the last year, so don't start with me, young man. Young man, don't make me start calling you young man, Kyle. So we used to give him a hard time, so he's a rod maker. We wanted to make us ice fishing rods, and he kept fighting it because he's trying to retire from making custom rods. So we came up with a name for like a Krampus rod or Grinch canes, and have been bugging him and bombing people with. So he's been getting nothing but messages via private messages. So he's going to start making custom rods for us. So if you're nice, maybe you can get him to send you one.
I had a rod supplier that got a bunch of them in, and he made me a deal if I'd take a bunch of them. So he had two different models. One was 33 inches, and what was the other, 20-something?
27, I think you were saying.
Yeah, it's a lot faster action than this, a lot lighter weight. And I told him to I wanted X amount of each one of them, and he said, well, I've only got so many of the short ones, and the rest of them are the long ones. I said, well, just make up the difference. And he sent them to me, and I showed them these guys, and they liked them so well. I called back thinking, well, he'd run out of them. And I thought, well, if he's going to run out of them, I might just buy them all. And I said, how many you got? And he said, how many do you want? And I thought, whoa. And I said, well, I thought maybe you'd make me a deal. I'd take them all. He said, well, I got 800 and some of them. I said, well, I don't need them all. I just don't need them all. I don't think I can make that many Krampus canes for Mr. Dockery.
So if you're interested in one, send him a private message on Facebook and start bugging him. You might be lucky enough to get one.
We're gonna start working on them pretty quick.
I've been bugging him for a rod for a while. We'll get him done.
Oh yeah. I've slowed down with this shoulder stuff. I haven't been able to. I only allowed to do so many minutes of it at a time. So, but we're gaining on that. So what do you got planned for upcoming videos, Kyle?
Yeah, so like I was talking about earlier there, I do have a spearing video coming up. People, I did it was a fall video. It was really cold. I did actual panfish spearing because you can panfish spear in Wisconsin. And it took a little hate. So I'm hesitant to go on this trip, but I'm going to Michigan. And as far as what I'm told and going with the people, is you can spear pretty much anything in Michigan.
Wow.
So, and this is in shack through the ice.
That'll get you a lot of hate.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go do it. I mean, it's a tradition that's been around since the beginning of time. People speared.
Yeah.
We're doing it to eat fish and show people that
That's probably older than hook fishing.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe in reasonable harvest, definitely, and you're not putting them back. You're going to harvest what's reasonable or responsible harvest. So
exactly, you're not spearing to have fun. You're going to spear not a trophy fish. You're going to spear a quality eater fish,
right?
Not a giant breeder with good genetics. You're going to spear the ones that are below that. I don't know if you ever seen Aaron Weaver Uncut Angling video, but he talks about this fish triangle.
I see lots of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you know, the fish triangle is like a crappie. You got the 16, 17-inch crappie. They're at the top. There's only a few of them. And you go down that triangle, and, if you're going to spear fish, take the ones out of that middle bottom section.
Yep. Definitely. I definitely agree with that.
Keeping any fish, any fish to harvest, that's what you want. And with the technology nowadays, cameras, pictures, replicas,
absolutely,
keeping the big ones.
Yeah, I think replicas is a good way to go. If you're going to do any trophy fishing, that's the way to go. We always return the real big.
I agree.
What a lot of people don't understand is when you get a fish to the top of at the apex of its growth cycle, those are hard fish to replace. They've been there for a long time. They're going to be breeding stock and so on. You get some smaller fish. Let's say you got a fish that apex is out at, 16 pounds. Let's say you got a monster a burbot. This has kind of been a topic because I went burbot fishing a couple months ago. I did very well, by the way. I had a lot of fun up there in Milwaukee, but we'll talk about that on the side. If you're getting them in the middle, you'll be okay. I was kind of forgetting where we were going to. If I caught like a big, huge, a 12 to 8, what's the record up there? 18 pounds, something like that. I wouldn't have held on to something like that. But a 4, 5, 6 pound burbot, I got no problem keeping that. So.
Right. The other thing I think about too with letting them big fish go is, obviously there's going to be a point in time where a fish gets maybe too big and it just dies or whatever. But imagine that it's not quite there yet. You have this massive fish and put it back to let a kid catch it.
Yep.
Imagine a kid catching that fish.
That's right.
I always say that. Get them the replica or let them keep it until they understand.
That's exactly right. I agree 100%. We have Mr. Melhorn made a comment about putting strawberry jello on a spear and get more.
That's another inside joke. There's a big argument in the catfish community between using actual bait and like Jello chicken for bait. It's a long story.
Let's give you the adage on what we're doing here. We got a whole ton of folks in here that have been following us for a long time, and Dieter and I are good friends, and we yak at each other. And if his gums aren't a flapping at me, mine are at him, So him and I are going to have a fish off this summer, and we're going to go for catfish. And
let's keep that on the down low, Lyle.
It's going to be. I wouldn't say epic because it may not be epic, but it's going to be a lot of
fun. Here's another thing we do. I have a series or a franchise that I do on Saturdays. We're just getting off where it's a 1 versus 1 live fishing where I let people fish against each other on my channel. I do the emceeing, keep them up, promote this stuff. So if you're ever interested in calling somebody out, you know how to get in touch with me now that we got
a live battle.
Live battles between anglers.
It's an amazing show.
I got some big names. It's like 5 to 6 hours we've been doing them yet. Yeah.
Wow.
I got one this Saturday between some of the gentlemen in Chad. It's between Chad and Roger. Chad and Rogers on one team. Usually we do 1 versus 1, but we kind of made the exception this time because they wanted to call each other. It's Chad and Roger versus Jason Blackburn and Norm from Catfish Headhunters. They're going up against each other this weekend, so that should be a fun 5 hours to deal with them. They're all the way out on the Ohio River, so it should be interesting.
Andy Mercer, you'll have to tune in to see what the bet will be.
Hey, I want to take a second here to make sure everybody hits that thumbs up. They're free. If you're not subscribed to, if somebody could post the link to Panfish Weekly, since we are still on Catfish Weekly because of the YouTube issues, that would be great. If you guys could go over there and subscribe, that'd be wonderful. If somebody could also post Kyle's link in chat, you guys head over there and give him a sub too. Hopefully we can.
Absolutely.
Not that he needs a help out.
Yeah,
He's got a pretty good
much
channel, but
appreciated.
the more the
Yeah,
better.
we just broke 20,000 subscribers, and
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
it's unbelievable. We'll just keep on going.
There you go.
That's awesome. And remember, folks, we're going to have a couple giveaways towards the end of the show tonight. One of them will be a nice little gift certificate for one of our viewers. Was so kind to donate a $25 gift certificate to Amazon before the show started, and they told me that if we could get 100 subscribers before the end of the show, that they would give away a I believe it was a $20 or $25 gift certificate. I have to check.
Just don't say 2,500. That person might be upset.
No, it's not 100. It's not 100. And before the show started, we was 103. So we got to make a certificate away, and we want to thank Betty and Brandon Cross for that. That was a really outstanding gesture for you guys to do. We appreciate it so very much, and we're going to give that away at the end of the show. I wanted to make sure they still want to do it because the show hadn't even started, and we'd already exceeded the 100. And we appreciate it. But if you think about it, like us on Facebook, check us out there, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Panfish Weekly, because we're in for this for the long haul. This isn't a one and out type of thing because we got some really cool guests coming up.
So, Lyle had mentioned that your wife likes to come along, and you've also mentioned that you and your wife go fishing together. Are there ever any issues or stories you want to share with us as far as that goes? Unless she's listening, that I fully understand.
Yeah, no, she's in the other room on the phone. I don't think there's any issues. I mean, well, the only issue is a great issue because get this. Okay, so we go out fishing and I'm setting up. Like setup takes a long time. Like get the cameras ready, get the jack up, set the tip ups up. It takes a while, and people don't realize that. And before I can get set up, she's already catching fish. That's it. And I'm like, if we're gonna film a show, you gotta save them fish for a little bit here. Like, let's catch them in 5 minutes when I'm set up, or longer.
Or help me set up, do something. No, it doesn't work. Fish. That's how come she likes going fishing with you. You get that, right?
Oh, yeah.
The few times I can get my wife to come with me, I do all the work and I let her catch all the fish, and it works out fabulously. If anybody's listening has the same issue I do, that's my ninja tip of the day.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Yep. But yeah, she loves fishing. I mean, the smile on her face, she pulls them big crappie up or whatever. It's just fun to see her having fun too out there.
So what's your favorite fish to eat, Kyle?
Ooh, I would say probably a crappie. I love crappie. And I mean, they flake apart. You can do so many different breadings on them. And, my favorite breading is my dad told me about it, or I had it growing up. It's 1 pack of saltines and 1 pack of Ritz crackers, and you just combine them together. And then you egg wash your fish and put it in the saltines Ritz mix, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to try.
Salty, sweet.
I think I've had that. We have actually one of the people that are going to give away that $25 gift certificate. She claims she's a heck of a crappie fisherman. She kills them over there in Ohio. She does a great job, but she says she uses cornflakes.
And I've heard of that on chicken. I've had chicken like that.
With chicken like that, I'm going to try that on crappie. So you like crappie better than, let's say, perch or walleye?
Oh, man. I mean, they're great. They're all great. I love them all. I mean, walleyes cook up into nice, firm little bites. And, the walleye's got the flake there. The perch are the same little firm bites. It's just, they're all really good. If I had to choose, I'd probably choose crappie.
Yeah. So, and that's pretty much how you cook it? You pretty much stay with the deep frying or the pan frying?
Yeah. Well, I do mostly deep fry or, fried in the oil. If I get a nice walleye and, you debone it really good, then bake it with some butter and some, flakes of, I think, parsley on it, lemon pepper, stuff like that. I just throw stuff together, and it's good.
I know Lyle's a big fan of crappie, aren't you, Lyle?
Yes, I am. Of course, I'm a big fan of food.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm on board. We kind of usually go off on tangents. At least I do on my show, especially if I get someone like Creole Catfish and he's down from Louisiana. We start talking about food, and my show turns into a food show. Yeah, pretty much. So we kind of like
the
to
video
get us.
tonight, they can watch this after it uploads. I'm cooking in tonight's video.
Oh, excellent. We'll have to check that out. Doing a catch and cook. I have fond memories of where up where you're at. I have a lot of fond memories of going to like Land O'Lakes, up in that area, and Hayward, Wisconsin, and we always had fun. And part of that would be, the fish fries afterwards. Even the fish boils. I got to go to a couple of those. If you haven't experienced one of them, they're pretty good.
No, never been to a fish boil, but up here every Friday, fish fries
everywhere. It's a part of life down there, up there, I should say.
Yeah, I was just saying, do you guys do fish fries Friday night? Fish fries?
Yeah, we do. A lot of pubs and taverns out here in northern Illinois do. I imagine it's like that south. I know on the East Coast they do their seafood boils and stuff. So I think it's the same, just a little different. So
pubs and taverns. I never.
You never been to what?
Never pubs and taverns. I never did that much.
Yeah.
How is it in Missouri, Lyle? You guys have fish fries on Friday night?
We used to when I grew up. I remember there was a place uptown that had fish fry, all you could eat on Friday nights, and I've watched Cindy's older brother Freddie go in there and make him quit. He would eat so much that they'd make him stop. But that was a long time ago, and he was probably 150 pounds heavier than he is now because he's older and a lot thinner. But yeah, we used to have those kind of deals, and to tell you the truth, I miss them. I can't eat near what I used to, but it doesn't mean that I don't like it near as much. Becca, thank you so much. You're wonderful. Thank you for helping Panfish Weekly out and get started. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mud Tramp. We appreciate it.
I'm so glad that people are liking what we're doing here with the Panfish stuff. I thought this was a venue that had been overlooked, and I wanted to make it more of a family-oriented thing. And Kyle fit right in because he fishes with his wife as I do, and so a lot of us do. A lot of us fish with our spouses, girlfriends, wives, daughters, different things other than just men. But your videos are such great quality, and that you got the market on that underwater stuff, buddy. I'm telling you, that's the coolest stuff going as far as I'm concerned. I wish we had water. If we had water clear enough to do what you do with that, I'd have one.
It's awesome.
How often do you use that in the summer? You ever use that in a boat?
Once in a while I do. They make a little fin that you put on the bottom of it, so as you're moving, it stays in that one direction. I've made a couple videos where I put like a spinner on it and like try to get walleye to come up to it. But usually in the summertime, if I'm going to use it, I'll throw it over the edge of the boat and just see what I'm on top of. Look at the weeds, see what kind of fish are down there. Because fish move so much in the summertime. You could think you're over a school of walleye, but really you're over a school of carp or suckers.
Right. Mm-hmm. And what water system do you mainly fish? What do you consider home water?
Oh boy, Northwest Wisconsin. I don't want to be like pinpointing, but like
no.
Northwest.
So you're way up there. I didn't realize. I thought you were closer to the east side of there. So you're way up there. You're
I'm over to the west. I'm about an hour from Minnesota. And if I go this way in Wisconsin to the east, there's like 4 hours out of Wisconsin that way.
Mm-hmm. You ever get into Minnesota, do any fishing?
The only fishing I've been in Minnesota was up over in Duluth, which Duluth is about an hour from me. And we were doing some trout fishing on Lake Superior, pretty much the same thing we do in the Schwamigan Bay by Ashland. Just deeper water, bigger fish, just going out and trying to do that.
Cool. Since you mentioned you're in Northwest, you ever get into like Midwest Wisconsin and do some of that trout fishing in those streams?
I've never been down that way. I did grow up down that way actually, but I've only trout fished up here in these streams, and then out in Montana, where you get big ones and whatnot. But
you're not that far away from some good trout fishing. Check out Wisconsin Trout Fishing. That's another guy's channel that I watch.
Okay, I've seen him before actually. Yep.
Yeah, he's not too far from you if I'm not mistaken. So
Okay, right
that's
on.
my tip for you for the day. So Lyle, we're coming up on 8:50. Do you want to do one of these giveaways?
Sure, we can.
Why are you laughing? What are they saying in chat? Are they talking about us again?
No, I M&M Lawn Care. Thank you so much, man. You guys are awesome.
Oh my goodness.
There has been an addition to our giveaways tonight.
Fantastic.
Yep. Uh, Katie and James Dockery are donating decals to us for 4 of the shows that we do. Uh, James Dockery Fishing, Crappie
Fishing
and Catfishing Crappie, um,
Fishing
Panfishing
with the Chad and
Fishing with
Catfish
Chad.
Weekly.
There must be 5 of us, and yeah, Catfish Weekly. So the winner of that drawing will get a decal from all of our shows.
That's fantastic.
That's pretty good, and thank you, James and Katie. You guys are the best. We appreciate it so much. So if you will entertain our guests for just a minute, I will
Sure.
get everyone that's in chat gathered up, and we'll get ready to do a giveaway.
Excellent. So tell us about your boat. I believe you have an Illumicraft, right?
I did.
Oh, you did. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Tell us about
yeah.
that.
So this fall, I actually work at a marina dealership and or boat
Okay.
dealership, and I was like, I'm gonna sell my boat and get a bigger one because I do some in the summertime. I slow down with the YouTube a little bit because of the underwater footage and stuff like that, and I do a little bit of guiding on my days off. So I needed a bigger boat. I sold what I had and used those proceeds to buy a new one, but with the inventory and the current crisis right now, it's kind of hard to get a boat. So I think I got one lined up. I just haven't done anything yet. So we're gonna get a 185 competitor tiller with a 90 on it, and
Nice.
should be plenty of room for a lot of people.
And you went with the tiller. Is that because you're going to do some more guiding?
Yeah, and I just love the room. Filming and everything. The room's awesome. I've seen people lose big fish because of a windshield, because of a steering wheel. I like to have the whole boat.
That makes sense. Gives you all the room to walk around. If I didn't hate the bad weather enough to want that enclosure, I'd do probably the same thing you are. But like you mentioned, I'm closer to Santa's age next to me than I am your age.
I gotta tell you, my last sponsored boat that I had, and we're talking about another one. The last one I had was a 205 trophy by far, and I've had several other sponsorship boats, and they was all nice boats. But that Illumicraft 205 trophy is heads and tails better than any custom or anything else that I've ever had. With a 250 Yamaha on it, it was a screamer, run mid 50s, and nothing that I ever seen could jump off out of the hole with it. And it's smooth ride, just an absolute great boat.
yeah.
I miss it terribly, but that's part of having sponsorship boats. At some point, you got to sell them off and get rid of them. But I do miss that boat a lot. But I have one that's paid for sitting right here at the house, so it's kind of hard to justify buying another one at this particular time. I have everybody loaded up that's in chat right now. What do you say we give away 2 Panfish Weekly decals to start with, and we'll go from there?
Sounds good to me.
All right, Kyle. What I do for you and everyone else that hasn't been a part of this, we load all the participants up that are in chat. Now, you do not have to make a comment for us to know that you're in chat. If you are a subscriber to Panfish Weekly or Catfish Weekly, you show up in chat. We know you're there. We gather up the names and we put them in random.org. Then we randomize them the number of times that our guest picks out between 1 and 5, and whoever comes up on the last time is the winner. So that's how we're going to do it. So Kyle, if you'll pick me out a number between 1 and 5, that's what we'll do.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have picked the lucky number 3, so I'm going to go with 2.
Very nice. 1 and 2. And the very first winner on the very first giveaway of Panfish Weekly is Catfishing Katie Collins.
Congratulations, Katie. She's a big supporter of all the shows out there.
Yes, she
And
is.
today's her birthday, Lyle. Happy birthday,
Happy
Katie.
birthday, Katie.
Happy birthday.
Katie,
You
if
wanna
you'll just send me your shipping address after the show, just message me on Messenger. Well, there's all the ways to get a hold of me, and we will make sure that you get your decal shipped right out. Thank you so much for watching our show, and we appreciate everything that you do. Help everybody that watches and follows all the shows that are on, because there's a show every night someplace.
You say you got 2 of those sticker packs, or 2 of those stickers to give away, Lyle?
I do.
All right, why don't we give another one away?
All right, let me load them back up. I want to make sure we have a fresh load.
Okay, sounds good. Excuse me?
A fresh load of people.
Oh, gotcha.
Let me rephrase that. It's like the first night I ever done this.
For Panfish Weekly, it is. Lyle's been doing this for some time.
All right,
That's right.
let's roll them numbers again. Kyle, you got another number in mind?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. And the winner is Nebraska Wildcats.
Congratulations, Nebraska Wildcats. Get a hold of Lyle on Facebook, and he will get that out to you. Right, Lyle?
Absolutely. Just send me your shipping address, and we will get them babies shipped right out to you. We got a few envelopes going out in the morning, and we'll just include a couple more. One of them that we're going to be shipping out, and I haven't heard, but Roger Muskrat Adventures and his wife was out. Janice DeMint was out fishing today, and Janice caught a 10-pound fish and wanted the decal, even done a little dance in the boat for us. We're going to get her one of those. I waited and didn't ship it out today because I was hoping that she would catch a 20-pounder and I could just send her out 2 today, but or when we shipped them. But I didn't hear whether she did or not. I had to leave the house and go do some errands. So if she didn't, then we're going to ship that now for her in the morning. Congratulations, Janice, on a great fish.
Hey, Lyle, I wonder if maybe I could let the people in chat know again what upcoming guests we have coming.
Absolutely.
Listen to this, Kyle. Is it next weekend that we have him on, the big man himself?
Yes, sir.
Next week we have Babe Winkleman on the show next week.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And then we got who else we got? We got the bro man, Brian Brosdale.
Brian. Yep.
Brian's coming on too. So we got some good guests. We got some other guests in the works. So you're the first in a long line of really cool guests. I was really happy to have you here today.
That's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. We was so excited that you would actually do that. We didn't know what we was going to get into. We didn't know if people would take us serious or not. One of the other guests that we've got coming up in February is Mike Baker. For anyone that knows anything about pan fishing, the Lake of the Ozarks, Mark Twain, Truman, any of the places, Mike Baker is a staple in the community on catching panfish. And I've got a friend of mine up at Lake of the Ozark that has turned out to be a hell of a crappie fisherman. We're going to get him on here. I know he'll do a show with us. So a good friend of mine that I used to fish catfish tournaments with a few years ago has started fishing crappie tournaments, and him and his partner have been tearing them up in Missouri. So those are all people that we're going to have on the show. We're going to have a great bunch of guests, but we're really excited about having Babe Winkleman on.
Babe Winkleman, though. Holy smokes.
That's right.
I got a set of his sunglasses.
You what?
I got a set of his custom sunglasses.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Like the old school ones they used to have, or is he still making them?
They're old school. They got his name on the side of them.
I know which ones you're talking about.
Way cool.
I know
I
what
got
you're talking about.
and all.
Very cool. Very cool.
That
He is in the Midwest. He's pretty much he's a beast. He's him and the Linders, right? Am I wrong?
You're right.
Yeah, I'm right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Lyle, let's do another giveaway. What do we got now?
What we have next would be the pack that from James and Katie Dockery. So
You got everybody loaded up?
I will have in just a momento. I want to make sure it's fresh every time we do a giveaway. That way that we get everybody that is in chat. And remember, the only way that you can win these prizes is to be a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, you can't get in chat. That's the only way you can win them. And that's the way all of the giveaways will be that we do. Well, I hope that one don't come up. I don't know how I got in there, but I'm in there. Catfish Weekly.
At least the shipping costs would be cheap, right?
It would be.
You all loaded up, Lyle?
I am. Give me a number between 1 and 5.
Kyle, go ahead. The guest
Let's
always
just go
gets
right
to
with
pick.
number 1 now.
Number 1.
It
Good
is
choice.
one of my favorites, and that is Daniel Ishmael.
Congratulations, Daniel Ishmael.
Awesome.
So what other collaborations do you do on your channel?
Oh boy. There was a guy out in New Jersey. His name is Todd Grubbs. His channel is Fishing Grubbs, and I've gone. He actually came to Minnesota and was working at a campground, and he reached out and I was like, "Hey, I'm over in Minnesota, like an hour away. Can we go fishing?" I'm like, "Get over here right now. Let's go fishing." He's like, "I've never caught a northern. I've never caught a walleye." So we got him hooked up with northern right away, and that was a really fun time taking him out fishing. And he didn't catch his first northern, but he got 12 in like 2 hours.
In 2 hours? That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
we were hammering the northern. It was pretty fun. And then he stayed a night. We went walleye that night and caught some walleye. It was pretty fun. But I've reached out to a couple people on collaborations, and a couple of people have reached out to me. And when they reach out, I'll like CTR fishing with Cole. I took him out last week. I think that was.
Mhm.
So things like that. But yeah, I love collaborating with other people.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that stuff.
Daniel, just get a hold of James Dockery on Facebook, send him a message or something, and he will ship those decals directly to you from him. Thank you so much for watching.
How many of those we got to give away, Lyle?
How many what? That's just that one.
Just that one? All right, do we have the grand prize going on now?
We have the grand prize is the only thing left.
Yep, that's from the Cross family, Betty and Brandon Cross. We thank you very much. And that's a $25 gift card to Amazon, correct?
Amazon, that is correct. And that is Betty and Brandon was really excited about us doing this show. And we appreciate everything they do for us, whether it be in this show or Catfish Weekly. But to do that on the very first show and donate a $25 Amazon gift card, and then make the stipulation that we had to have 100 people in chat, and then we reached that before the show ever started, was, that's just pretty cool. It really is. And to be quite honest, I just loaded all of them up. So let's have one more number and we'll give away the grand prize for the night.
Number 2.
Number 2.
It is 1, 2. And the winner is Sunfish Assassins.
Oh, congratulations, Sunfish Assassins.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for being a part of this. You've been excited about being involved with this show since it started. So if you'll just contact Betty or Brandon, and they will hook you up with your gift card. Thank you so much for watching our show. And Betty and Brandon, thank you for everything you do for the sport. We appreciate it so much. It is awesome having you a part of it in all of the live shows because you're in all of them in the chat with everybody, and it means the world to all of us.
Well, Lyle, what do you think of the first Panfish Weekly? How do you think it went?
I'm very happy. I think it's going to be a huge success. The first one's always, it's like kind of like winning the ball game. The first one, the baby's game. Well, this was our baby game. I think it was a home run.
I agree.
Thank Kyle enough for being a part of the show with us tonight. When we started this, nobody in the panfish world knew who we was. Everybody in the catfish world knew who I was and you was, because we've been around a while, but nobody in the panfish, some of the guys I sent messages to never even answered me. And I thought, holy crap, what have I got myself into?
Oh, man.
then I contacted Kyle, and he agreed to do the first show. And after seeing those videos, man, I just knew he was the right guy for the first show.
I was like, let's go, let's talk about it.
Yeah, he private messages me all your videos whenever a new one comes out. He's like, "Hey, check out Kyle's new video." So he's one of your
one out tonight.
He's one of your super fans. Make sure you guys check out Kyle's video tonight. You ever do a premiere, Kyle? They work pretty well. You should try them.
I haven't. I always like to get my video as soon as I can. Like, people want to watch the next one. I want to see it. Don't
trust me. It's hard. It's hard, but sometimes a premiere is cool. You get to be in there with the people chatting like this. It's actually pretty cool.
I've never done it. I don't know how it works.
I have a question.
Message me whether it's on. Well, I answer on Facebook more than Instagram, but I do both. But I'll be happy to let you know what the downloads is. But it's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll do it on the next one.
And I wanted to
coming already, so we got 3 filmed.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And speaking of premieres, you mind if I plug my show tomorrow night, Lyle?
Absolutely.
All right, tomorrow night on Catfish and Crappie, I have the great Quentin Robbins on my show. He is doing a premiere of like a long form video after my show at 8. My show's at 7 p.m. Central. His video goes live at 8 p.m. Central and a premiere. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We got some surprises for everybody who's going to be there tomorrow. At least Quentin does. So why don't you tune in? He's a pretty big catfish guy out of Memphis. Mid-South Outdoors is his channel. Very proud and happy to have him on the show tomorrow. We will check out his premiere afterwards. And then Saturday, we're doing the 1v1 on my channel. Once again, it's going to be Fishing with the Chad and Muskrat on one team. Catfish Headhunters and Jason Blackburn, also known as J-Dog, on Team 2, starting at 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. I call that. You know what they call flathead catfish over on the East Coast and South in Ohio? They call them shovelhead.
What's up with that?
I don't like that. So we call that shovelhead time, and Central Time is flathead time. It's another joke that we have with them.
Nice.
Kyle, I got a really important question to ask you.
Yeah.
Since you was the very first Panfish Weekly guest, will you do another show with us at some point?
Oh, most definitely. You bet.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that and had a good time. We would like to get you back on here. Let us get a few shows under our belt and get more viewers in here.
Gotcha.
I appreciate everything that you've done and being a part of this tonight. It's been awesome having you on our show.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me.
Well, I agree. You're just as personable and nice as you are in your videos. So.
Absolutely.
Yep, just a normal guy out there filming videos and posting it.
Amen. You hear that, everybody in chat? This can be you too. Go out and do it. Get it done. Get over that hump.
Go out and do it.
That's right.
You know, Mark, this has been a great show. We're going to be back Monday or next Thursday after James and Chad, the bait shop. We're going to be back next Thursday at 8 o'clock Central Time with Babe Winkleman. Be sure to tune in. There's no telling what else we'll have going on, but just having Babe Winkleman on the show is going to be a riot for me. He was a great guy to talk to on the phone, and I got a feeling probably be longer than an hour.
We'll probably run over. I'm going to be such a mark. I'm going to be sitting here like blah, 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 blah.
So that's what we got going. We want to thank our guests again, and be sure to tune in Monday night for Catfish Weekly and all the other shows that come on that we all follow on YouTube every night throughout the week. There's a show every night. Somebody has one. So be sure and share the love and tune in and watch those shows. So,
Wisconsin Fisherman. Subscribe to his channel. Check him out. You won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. Great.
Have a good night, everybody.